Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. It's 2020. You've made some resolutions. Maybe one of them is to convert to a plant-based eater or a vegan. You've maybe seen The Game Changers, What the Health, or some other Netflix documentaries, and you're ready to make a change. Now what? What happens next? Well, I'm going to show you 10 things that you can put into place today to start making the transition much easier. This is definitely a transitioning phase. You are going from eating a standard American diet, which revolves around meat and a few overcooked vegetables that have no nutritional value, to eating a more whole foods, plant-based diet. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button, become one of the Plant-Based Dads family. The very first thing that you can do, the number one thing, is start reading labels. And I mean, we've said that for years, but know what you're reading. There is meat or dairy proteins in just about everything. One of the biggest lessons I ever got was from my friend Tyson, who was a vegetarian for years before I turned vegetarian. And one day, you know my story, I read a pamphlet from PETA while I was on the toilet, and I never ate meat again, right? Tyson's over my house, it's 4th of July, you know, we're having a barbecue, and I make Jell-O. I've got red, white, and blue Jell-O with some non-dairy cream on it. I'm all excited, right? And I serve it, and Tyson says, I can't eat this, I'm sorry. And I go, why not? And he goes, well, because I'm a vegetarian. And I said, well, I'm a vegetarian too. It's Jell-O, it's sugar and water. He's like, no, it's got gelatin. And I said, what does that mean? And he goes, gelatin's made from boiling the bones of animals. I was completely shocked. I had no idea. So ever since that day, and that was like 12 years ago, I don't eat anything with gelatin in it. It's been a long road to understand that, but it all didn't happen in one day. I had to learn these things as I went along. Read the labels. Anything with whey in it, anything with casein, anything with gelatin, those are not vegan. They have animal products in it, okay? So labels, very important. All right, number 2, very simple. When you're making a meal, when you're cooking a meal, start making it more vegetables and less meat. In Asian countries, for years, if they've got a meat the size of a burger, that feeds like 4 people. And then most of their plate is vegetables. We're the opposite. We go with a big piece of steak and then, 2 little cooked potatoes and broccoli that's not even edible. Make your plate mostly vegetables, and if you're still transitioning, a lot less meat. That will help you make the transition into plant-based, whole food plant-based, or vegan, or wherever you're trying to go. Baby steps, just do a little bit at a time to start implementing changes now to work toward where you're getting. All right, so number 3, try having one meatless day a week. Just try making a small change to your diet. One day a week, not eating meat. There's so many options. You can, and I'm not talking about having a burger with the Beyond Beef patty or a veggie burger. I'm talking about just leaving the meat out altogether. Once you've converted to plant-based or to vegan, you don't need to substitute fake meats for meats. You won't eat those at all. The only time you'll eat those is if you're out with friends and you're at, Red Robin or something, and they're all having burgers, and you're looking through the menu going, well, the last thing I want is a salad, so I'm going to get the whatever they have, the Impossible Burger or whatever, right? Then you would partake in having that. But otherwise, when you're at home, you're not going to need to cook mock meats in order to feel like you're getting something, right? You can make an entire meal just out of, vegetables, and it would be amazing. We've got plenty of recipes on our channel here, and it's quite rewarding. So try and get in the habit of replacing one full day a week with meals that are made from nothing but vegetables. All right, number 4. I know this is a touchy subject, but learn to cook for yourself. Your mother's not here, you have to start taking care of yourself. You don't have to be a chef, right? But learn to prepare simple meals for yourself, right? So, something as simple as oatmeal. Make a few oatmeals on Sunday for the week so you have them ready to go. Make overnight oats. There's no actual cooking involved. You pour some oats into some milk and throw it in the fridge, and you've got it all week, right? Bam, breakfast done. The same thing with like Buddha bowls or burrito bowls. You can go to Costco and get frozen sweet potatoes, broccoli, all that stuff, and just portion it into bowls, throw it in the refrigerator, and then when you're ready to eat lunches for the day, you just heat those up and pour some tahini on it, and you're ready to go. There are so many videos on this channel alone that show you some great meals to make. I mean, butternut squash and black bean enchiladas, chia seed pudding. I mean, there's so much stuff. Pancakes, and I mean, it goes on and on. Learn to cook, take care of yourself. McDonald's ain't gonna take care of you. You have to do it. That brings us to number 5. If you're still eating the standard American diet and you want to make the conversion to plant-based, whole foods, vegan, one of the best things that you can do to help yourself transition is stop drinking milk. Milk is making people sick. There's so much information out there about the harm that milk's doing, but I mean, go ahead and look it up yourself. But get off milk and dairy. Even though I was a vegetarian for 12 years, vegetarians drink milk, I didn't drink milk during that time. Milk is full of pus and all sorts of stuff. It's horrible. No more milk. Try putting that behind you. Okay, so that brings us to number 6. When you go out to eat, try eating vegan at a restaurant. This used to be impossible, but let me just tell you right now, it's no problem. I just left Central Phoenix and we moved to the suburbs, right? Right out in the middle of, suburbia. Chain restaurants, the Olive Garden, Chili's, all that stuff, right? I have 7 different restaurants on one corner within a mile of my house, and I can eat vegan at every single one of them. Here's a picture of the fajitas at Chili's. You can get the vegetable fajitas, right? And it comes with a black bean patty, but I have them leave the black bean patty out, add extra mushrooms, and just leave out the cheese they sprinkle on it. I mean, just tell them to leave the dairy products off. Those fajitas are absolutely amazing. They're fantastic. You get the asparagus, you get the broccoli. Don't eat the rice, because I'm sure the rice has chicken stock in it. Just ask them to leave that out. But all the rest of that stuff is so filling. The guacamole, all of that. Also, you could go to Olive Garden. Their pastas are vegan. Their breadsticks are vegan. I know, right? That's bad news. And then you can get their the marinara or the vegetables. They have a pasta with vegetables on top. That's all vegan. So you can absolutely eat vegan at the Olive Garden. There's a Chinese restaurant by my house over here, and when I go in there, I tell the lady, hey, they have tofu. Most Chinese restaurants do. I want the orange chicken, but I want orange tofu, and can you make that vegan by not putting any fish sauce, whatever? And they're happy to oblige. They're like, oh yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you can eat vegan at so many different restaurants, right? If you go to a Mexican restaurant, just make sure their beans don't have lard in them. You can get their refried beans, like Taco Bell's refried beans, those don't have lard in them. So if you go to Taco Bell, you can totally eat a bean burrito, right? With no cheese. There are so many restaurants, chain and otherwise, that offer vegan options. All right, number 7, I have said over and over again for years on this channel. All right, the channel's only been in existence for a year and a half, but I've said it the whole time, right? Meal prep, baby. Make your food on Sunday nights for the week or whenever your work week starts, right? Prep 5 breakfasts for the week. I prep buckwheat every week for the whole week, right? Make some Buddha bowls for the whole week. I make sure Tim and I have food all week long as far as lunches. When he goes to work, he takes, buckwheat with him. He takes a Buddha bowl with him. He just heats that up at work and he's ready to go. Have that ready to go for yourself. If you're going to have protein drinks or smoothies, get your little reusable zip bags and prep the frozen stuff in the bags for the week, right? I do this for Lexx, so when he's done with swimming, he has a protein drink. And then all you do is take those bags out, throw it in the blender with some plant milk, mix it up, and it's ready to go. So much you can do on the weekend to prepare. And then as far as like meals, make an Instant Pot of chili on Sunday night, put it into 5 little containers, throw in the refrigerator, and then Monday you've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner all week long. So if you want to be successful, meal prep, right? All right, number 8. This one's important. Surround yourself with like-minded people. One of the biggest assists I get here is from a Facebook group I'm in. You're doing this. It's now February. You've been doing really good, but you stopped at Carl's Jr. on the way home, or if you don't have Carl's Jr., Hardee's, depending on where you live, and had a burger. And now you're like, oh my gosh, what do? I feel horrible. Am I vegan? Am I not vegan? Go back to eating meat. What do I do, right? Well, you'll see people post stuff like that in that group, and the other people will be like, listen, brush yourself off, you're fine. You just made a mistake. We're human. Just get back on and keep on going. You're fine, right? We're all here for you. Surround yourself with like-minded people. And Facebook is a great place to get started with that. Number 9, know where your food comes from. Start trying to figure out, when you go to the grocery store and you're buying something, how did this get here? So you kind of have to think that way about, pumpkin and squash and all that. When you're eating that stuff in the fall, that's the harvest. That's why they're so cheap then, because they're in season. After that, you may want to switch to something else that's in season during the winter. Otherwise, you're getting food that's picked way early in advance, grown somewhere in a hothouse that isn't really ripe, and it's picked early so it'll survive the truck ride and then being put on display, and if you buy it and take it home. Tomatoes are a good example of that. So where does your food come from? Start asking yourself, what am I actually getting here? The best way to do that is eat in season. Number 10, and this is the big one. Be prepared for your family and friends to think that you have gone extreme. When you tell someone that you're eating plant-based, you're eating vegan, or if you just order something vegan, you don't have to tell them, they're automatically going to be offended because now they're not doing that and they feel guilty, or they feel like somehow they're not doing what they should. And because you seem to be doing that, you're going to be the target of all sorts of crazy crap, right? You need to be prepared for this. One of the biggest things I found out in this life is the best way to change people's minds is to be a good example. I had a friend that was like, every time I said, bacon is killing you, right? He's like, oh, but pigs are so tasty, right? Well, bam, 51 years old, wound up in the hospital with a heart attack. His arteries were clogged and all that. Guess who came to me after his hospital stay and said, I need your help. I need to learn to eat better. I did not force him into that. I did not, put him down. All I did was go on my merry way, eating my vegetables, and, I'm older than him. And it eventually sunk in when he had a heart attack. So just by being an example, just by doing what you do and not trying to change other people, you're most likely going to get people asking you questions on how they can implement changes. So when people are mad or offended by you being vegan or eating, not eating animals, just keep in mind at some point, some of those people are going to come back to you and ask for help. All right, guys, so that's 10 things that you can do to start this road of transitioning to a plant-based diet. Have you checked out our merch site yet? I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing one of the Plant-Based Dads hoodies. I love this thing. It's so comfortable and warm. And in Phoenix now, it's, in the 50s. Don't hate, but it is. And I can wear this outside in the cooler weather, and then when it's, starts to get up to the 70s, which it hasn't, it's been the 60s, but if it starts to get warmer during the day, it's still not so heavy where I have to take it off. I absolutely love this. This is one of the things we offer on the merchandise site, Etsy.com, all one word, Plant-Based Dads. Search us up there. We have Plant-Based Dads merchandise, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts. We've also got Gamer Awesome 2006 merchandise if you're following Lex's gaming channel. Something for everyone. Give it a look. All right, guys, that's our video for today. Please hit this like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. The red subscribe button will turn white. Hit the little bell on it. 2 little lines will appear, and that'll tell you when we have a video, usually every Monday. And please, leave a comment. Are you transitioning to a plant-based diet? Are you starting the year off by making some changes? What are you doing? Are you already a vegan who just wants to now eat more whole food plant-based? I fall to a lot, actually. I wind up eating vegan junk food, or, I'm always a vegan, but I'm not always able to stay focused. But then when I don't, I just get right back up and move forward. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.